in seconds. I turn off the light switch and I came down to meet you in the half-light the moon left while a cluster of nightjars sang some songs out of tune. A mantle of bright light shone down from a room, come down in time. I still hear her say, so clear in my ear, like it was today. Come down in time was the message she gave. Come down in time and I'll meet you halfway. Well, I don't know if I should have heard her as yet, but a true love like hers is a hard love to get, and I've walked most all the way, and I ain't heard her call, and I'm getting to thinking if she's coming at all. Come down in time, I still hear her say, so clear in my ear, like it was today. Come down in time was the message she gave. Come down in time and I'll meet you halfway. There are women, and some hold you tight, but some leave you counting the stars in the night.
The People's Voice, 97.7, The Heat. 97.7 The Heat. We play what we want to play.
If I told you that I loved you, would you turn and walk away? Could these words be too serious to bear if I dare say what's in my heart? We both said let's not get heavy. Let's play the game of kiss, don't tell. How was I to know that love was concentrating on me? Oh, deep love. No, you didn't mean to lead me on to a love so strong. But every time I look into your eyes, I hear a song of love so true. You're the reason that my love's alive. You're my day and you're my night. You're my guiding light. Oh, you're the reason there's a bright sunshine for the rest of my life. If I told you that I need you, would you open up and let me in to a heart that for so long has been waiting just for love to begin? I don't claim to know the future. I just believe the love can save. Follow your dreams that rush us to the doorsteps of tomorrow that lives today. Oh, you're the reason that my love's alive.
Issues That Matter with Calvin Lester and Stephen Jackson on WKSH 97.7 The Heat.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm Calvin Lester. Stephen Jackson's out serving the community, and it's going to be just me and Johnny this evening. We thank you for your time and attention on a Saturday, or as Stephen likes to say, Friday Junior. It is Thursday, October 17th, 2024. This is Issues That Matter, 97.7 Heat, WKSH, where we play what we want to play and say what we want to say. We thank you for tuning in, and we pray that this conversation that we're going to have this evening is going to be something that you can get something out of it, that it equips you to be the smartest person around the water cooler tonight and tomorrow as you move forward. And certainly we would be remiss if we didn't thank Brother Johnny Antoine for opening the doors of this station to give us this opportunity to talk to you about the things that are going on in our city, our state, our nation, and I dare say the world. And we thank him for opening that portal, because listen, we live in a time now, y'all, where, you know, the truth is a casualty of war. You know, you got, and we're going to talk about that a little bit, you got people running for office that's just lying straight like that, Johnny, I've never seen this kind of stuff in my entire adult life, where you come to the microphone and you lie, and you know you lying. You don't want to do a 60 Minutes interview because they're going to check you.
You know who put that out there?
Who that?
Trump.
I know.
Trump
That's
did
all
all
he's
that.
doing it. That's all he does is lie. Bruh, all he
This
does
dude
is
had a whole
lie.
debate. He had a whole debate, and she caught him in so many lies, and he steady was lying.
Bruh, how do you know Trump lying? His mouth moved.
His mouth moving. That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. But you know what? Folks, we have to do what we have to do. And what we have to do is go vote. And we have to vote in record numbers. And that's just what it is. I'm more and more of the belief that what we're dealing with is a cult of personality. These people want to follow whatever this man has to say. It doesn't even mean it doesn't have to make any sense. Only thing he needs to do, Johnny, now is put on some sunglasses and a white suit and he Jim Jones. It's
He can do it.
and they're following him and they literally and figuratively drinking the Kool-Aid, and we got to make sure that we don't. So if you want to participate in the conversation, there's several ways you can do it. You can give us a call. Our number is 318-779-0459, 318-779-0459. Or if you watch on Beyonce's internet, you can always hit us up with a message in the chat, and we will love to hear from you. So,
Man, what about Cornel West? He running independent. I was like, man, I didn't even know he was running, dude. Ain't he running independent or something?
so let's get into it, Johnny. It's Thursday, man. Let's can we talk to the people?
Yeah.
Let's talk to the people, Johnny. Here's what's going on. In this country's history, third parties have really not been able to win elections.
Right.
Okay. But what third parties have done on at least 3 occasions that we know of, they have swung the election a different way. I'll give you the first time. When Clinton in 1992 ran against Bush, it was Clinton, it was Bush, and it was Ross Perot. Remember Ross Perot?
Right.
Ross Perot ran a third-party candidate. That was the first time you had a third party. Now, he didn't win a single state, but he got enough votes where Clinton wound up winning the presidency. Do I think that Clinton would have beat Bush? Probably, but it would have been real close. But Clinton, the brilliance of Bill Clinton, he came up with this theory called triangulation, where he was where everybody else was, and he put himself in the middle between those two things. I'm not as bad as him. I'm better than him. I'm your choice. And that's how he got to be president. So that's number one in the modern day. Second, Bush v. Gore. Alphonse Gore was going to beat George W. Bush in 2000. No if and buts about it. Ralph Nader decided that he wanted to run as a third party candidate, and he showed up in Florida. Ralph Nader with the Green Party got about 2 to 3% of the vote in Florida. That caused Florida to be in turmoil, and consequently, Gore doesn't win Florida. Gore loses Florida, and Bush is the president. All right? Fast forward. 2016. Not only did you have the Russians that we could document that was doing the bots and all of that disinformation, Jill Stein, a white female from somewhere on the East Coast, she decides she wants to run for president as a third party, the Green Party. She gets like 1 or 2% in Michigan. She got 1 or 2% in Pennsylvania. Well, guess what happened in them 2 states? Mm-hmm. Democratic leaning states that Trump won by like 1%. Like Trump won both of those states by like 100,000, 200,000 votes. she gets 300,000 or 400,000 votes. Them 300,000 or
Right.
400,000 votes go to Clinton. Clinton wins on both, or either one of them. Clinton's the president, and we never heard of Trump. It been over with. Jill Stein is running as a third-party candidate now, and the place where she's doing her most work is in Michigan. And they even had a press conference where she and her people in Michigan just admitted it. I know I can't win. I got one job. I'm trying to stop Kamala Harris. And when you sit there and allow this stuff to happen, we got to be smart about this game, man. Jill Stein is funded by right-wing Republicans.
Okay.
Cornel West. I used to love this guy. It breaks my heart. When I tell you I'm a fan, bruh, like you and I sit down and we talk about music, and I tell you, like, I have every record that Music Soul Child ever put out. I have every record that Wayman Tisdale put out, Julian Vaughn. I got their whole catalog. That's how I was with Cornel West. Every book he ever put out, every lecture, every spoken word, all of that. I drank from the fountain of Cornel West, okay? Until Obama ran for president. If you recall, he and Tavis Smiley got sideways with Obama because they supported Hillary instead of Obama. And if you remember, at the State of Black America, what is it? The thing that Tavis used to do all the time.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He would have the State of Black America thing, right? He was real big, and so Obama had a conflict. He wanted to send his wife.
Right.
Clinton said she was gonna come, but they was like, she can't come to the State of Black America. And they was like, well, let's send Bill. Like, no. And so he got sideways, Tavis and them did, about Michelle Obama coming for her husband. And it kind of went down from there. And so when Obama winds up winning, they go on this tour like, oh, Obama's wrong. He got to do better. That ain't who we need. Blah 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 blah. He was real critical. Is this better right here? And so he started going way off to the side. Right there we go. And what canceled him for me, if you remember this system, Melissa Harris Perry had a TV show on MSNBC on Saturday mornings. It was a brilliant show. It was one of the best shows on television. And every Saturday morning, she had the show, and she would bring all of these smart PhDs, men and women, to MSNBC, and they would talk about the issues on such a high level. And it was beautiful to see that many smart, well-spoken, good-looking black folks that were talking about the stuff that we like to talk about, Johnny. And Cornel West went left on Melissa Harris Perry because she used to be a student of his. And he basically did the thing where, oh, well, she ain't all of that. That was my student. I used to, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, bruh, you mean to tell me you so jealous of this young sister that's coming up that you can't give her propers? And from that point, he started just going down, 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 down. And it is what it is. But the bottom line is he calls himself running for president. And the people who are funding his campaign are the people who are Trump supporters at the end of the day. They know this election's going to be tough. So what they're trying to do is peel some super liberal young people off with Jill Stein, and they're trying to peel some black men off with Cornel West. Excuse me. And fortunately, it hasn't been working. But we got to keep our eyes open because, I hear these people on the fringes talking about, well, Kamala ain't say this and Kamala ain't say that. And I'm like, okay, all right, you giving her heck because she was vice president. She don't have the power of the pen. But hell, Trump was the president for 4 years. What did he do for you? He didn't do nothing for you, and he don't have a plan for you. So, nah, man, they're playing a game. The game is to try to distract our people, to make it easier for Trump to win. That's the goal. And we, at a certain point, you got to call this thing for what it is, man. You know,
Right.
because Trump don't mean us no good. And what's amazing to me is Trump tells you exactly what he gonna do.
Right.
I don't like you. I'm gonna get you. And guess what? If we fool enough to let this man come back in office, he gonna get us. And they're going, oh, he didn't mean that. Yeah, he does. He absolutely does. He absolutely does. So look, let's take a real quick break. We're gonna come back on the other side of this, and we're gonna talk some more about the presidential race. We're gonna speak to how Vice President Kamala Harris is doing, and she went on a very, very interesting television program the other night. We're gonna talk about that. So you're listening to Issues That Matter, 97.7 The Heat, WKSH. We play what we want to play, and we say what we want to say. Stick with us.
Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get down? Tell me. Oh, what you gonna do? Do you wanna get down? Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get down? Oh, what you gonna do? You wanna get down? Tell me. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. 'Cause I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Baby, baby. Get down on it. Get on it. Get down on it. I say people. What you gonna do? You gotta get on the groove if you want your body to move. Tell me, baby, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really won't take a chance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. 'Cause I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. When you're dancing, get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Sha-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-doo. Oh, what you gonna do? Do you wanna get down? Oh, what you gonna do? Get your back up off the wall. Dance, come on. Get your back up off the wall. Dance, come on. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down. Come on and get down on it. Baby, baby. Get down on it. Get down. Get on it. Get down on it. How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, baby. How you
Issues That Matter with Calvin Lester and Stephen Jackson on WKSH 97.7 The Heat.
And we are back. We're back. We're back. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, before we talk about some of these other things we want to talk, I want to take a moment of personal privilege and to let you know something that's going on that's not being talked about a lot in our city, and I think it's a shame. So next Thursday, the Jesse N. Stone Jr. Foundation, and it's spelled just like that, JESSE N. Stone Jr. Foundation.com, look it up, is having their inaugural gala to talk about the Jesse N. Stone Foundation. Many of you have heard of Jesse Stone, you don't maybe realize who he is. Jesse Stone was the 4th president of Southern University. He was born and raised in Webster Parish. He was one of the first African-American attorneys in Northwest Louisiana. He wasn't the first. He was one of the first. I think you have people like Van LaCour from Natchitoches who actually might have been the first in Caddo Parish, but he practiced here. If you guys saw the Thurgood Marshall movie where with Chad Boseman trying the cases and all of the difficulty he had, Jesse Stone tried cases like that in Shreveport. He was the closest thing that we had in this area, in the state, really, this end of the state, to Thurgood Marshall. He is North Louisiana's Thurgood Marshall. In South Louisiana, their Thurgood Marshall was a gentleman by the name of A.P. Tureau. But there were cases that that were tried. In fact, that the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, that was headed by Thurgood Marshall at the time, actually sent to Dr. Jesse Stone to handle those cases for people, African Americans in Shreveport, North Louisiana. So they were contemporaries. They worked together. He is, for many of us African American lawyers, African American political types, he is our Optimus Prime. And they're celebrating his life and his legacy next Thursday with a gala. And the artist for the gala is none other than my guy. I've been a fool for you, Miles J. Now, Johnny, I don't know that we've had Miles J in the city before, but it's amazing that we've got this level of talent coming into the city, and it's pretty amazing.
I'm gonna blow your mind.
Go ahead, blow your mind.
You know who Miles J really is?
Who is Miles J really?
He's the police officer with the village people.
Hold on, man. Don't play with me like that.
Yes, that's what it is.
Don't play with me now.
Miles J is the police officer with the village people.
Man, don't play with me like that.
All right. I'm finna pull it up so you can see it, all right?
Hold on, man.
Hold on, I'll pull it up.
Don't do me like that.
What?
Don't do me like that. Bruh.
I'm gonna research.
I got something to do later today. You about to bust my head to the white meat.
I'm finna bitch you.
You about to bust my head to the white meat. But no, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support the foundation, what I would suggest that you do is go to the website. The website is www.jessenstonejrfoundation.com. Check it out. There's some information about what the foundation is all about. There's some information about what their program of work is. And if you want to support the organization by buying some tickets to the gala, you have the ability to go online and buy you a couple of tickets and come hear Miles J. croon and, get what he has to offer and have a great evening. So I just wanted to let y'all know that was going on in the city next Thursday, October 24th. Okay, hold on a second. We got a caller coming in.
You got a call?
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me tell him. Call back. Yeah. 779-0459. That's 318-779-0459. We'll be watching. Somebody say they calling, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's what's going on with that. So man, I'm really excited about that. But and I understand that he's already got a presence here, because if you were watching Johnny's feed the last day or so, we got a caller. Good evening. You're listening to 97.7 Heat. How can we help you?
Well, I was calling to speak with Mr. Lester.
Well, you're on, madam. Talk to us.
Well, hello. Good evening.
Good
How's
evening.
everyone?
I know who you are. I recognize your voice, but tell the people who you are, madam, please.
Shonda Stone.
The Honorable Judge Shonda Stone of the Louisiana Second Circuit Court of Appeals. Judge Stone, how are you doing this evening?
Oh, I am great. How are you this evening?
We're great. We're great. So tell us about why you're calling. Tell us about the Stone Foundation. Give us some information about all of that for those that want to hear about it.
All right. So a few years ago, about 3 years ago, a group of friends and I formed the Jesse and Stone Jr. Foundation to honor the legacy of my father, the late, and I think great, Jesse and Stone Jr., who was a pioneer, trailblazer, bridge builder in the state of Louisiana. And I just want to honor his legacy and honor it by providing programs for kids in high school and middle school to perhaps one day become a lawyer.
That's noble work. And so you've got an event coming up next Thursday, a week from today. Tell us about the event.
A week from today, we will be in full swing. So it's the inaugural gala. It's taken us some time to plan it, but we planned what we think is going to be an excellent program and an excellent evening in Shreveport. When I grew up, I thought that Shreveport was very, very glamorous, a very glamorous place. And
it is.
Course, in many ways, it was, right?
Yes.
And can be again.
Yes.
And so...
Pre-ratchet.
Right. Right. So anyway, we determined that we wanted to have this gala. It's a sit-down, plated dinner. It starts with cocktails at 6. And then we're going to have very limited speaking to really just introduce people to the foundation. And then from there, we're going to have celebrity artist, jazz artist Miles J. performing. And it's going to be a great evening. We understand that people have to go to work on Friday morning, but guess what? It's going to be a nice, intimate evening with Miles J. You go home. You could probably be home at 10 o'clock. We're going to roll it along and have a good time and then go home and think about what a great program and body of work that we supported.
So what time does the program start?
Okay, so we start with cocktails at 6.
And where is it going to be?
Dinner, it's going to be at the convention center in the Shreveport room, in the Captain Shreve room, I'm sorry. And it is formal attire. We are wanting to see tuxedos and long dresses. We want to bring back that era in Shreveport that I remember so well.
All right. So if you want to participate in this event, if you want to find out more about the Jesse and Stone Jr. Foundation, give us the website.
Okay, so it's Jesse, Jesse, N as in Nancy, Stone Jr. Foundation.com.
Gotcha.
You go to the website and you can be linked up. There's a link. You can buy tickets, make comments, and just visit the website. The website is really pretty neat. The invitations are beautiful, but the website is pretty nice.
Great.
And informative.
Well, Judge, we really appreciate you calling in and taking some of your time to talk about the foundation. I'm excited about what you guys are doing. Let me say this, or let me ask you, in the days that we're living in now, why do you think it's so important for us to shepherd in the next generation of lawyers in our community?
Well, the truth is, the law, everybody's life involves the law. People think that unless you are in a car accident or unless you're arrested, you really don't need lawyers. But lawyers are truthfully social engineers. Lawyers, when you're born, you get a birth certificate. That's a legal document. When you die, that you get a death certificate. That's a legal document. Everything you do in life, you get married, you get divorced, you live, whatever you do involves the law. You purchase a house, that involves the law. You read contracts, draft contracts, that involves the law. So every aspect of humanity involves the law. So whether our goal in this foundation is to get children, high school and middle school children, who not only have the aptitude, but who also have indicated a desire to go to law school. Law school, I would love for everybody to go to Southern Law School, but the truth is, you might not want to go to Southern Law School. But we want to get students in a position to apply for law schools of their choice in colleges. colleges and law schools,
Right.
it's their choice, so that they can decide what they want to do with their legal education. My dad always told me that if you never set foot in a courtroom as a lawyer, and if you never file a brief or a complaint with any court, and whether you ever enter a jail cell to represent a client, your legal education can still benefit you greatly. And so I believe that has been my life, actually. So I get it, but I want other kids to have that opportunity because not everybody has the benefit of my upbringing.
Right. Right.
Well, we are very excited, and certainly we're going to be downtown at the convention center in force next Thursday
Great.
for the inaugural Jesse N. Stone Jr. Foundation Gala. And if you want to find more information, again, go to the website. It's Jesse. There is not an I in Jesse. JESSE N Stone Jr. Foundation.com. Judge Stone, thank you so very much for calling in. Thank you for the work that you're trying to do on behalf of the next generation of lawyers and what you're trying to do to help move our community forward. Thank you, ma'am.
And, let me say one other thing.
Yes.
Lawyers and educators, because education is key.
Yes.
I need teachers and principals and college administrators. I need everybody on board. We need everybody on board for our children in Caddo Parish.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, ma'am. You have a great evening.
Have a wonderful evening.
All
You
right.
too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
You heard it from here. So Jesse N. Stone Jr. Foundation.com, Jesse N. Stone Jr. Foundation.com. Go check out the gala. Go check out the program of work. Go check out the mission. The website is very dynamic. It's got some really interesting pictures of Dr. Stone, and I think one of the coolest pictures on there, Johnny, is a picture of Dr. Stone and his beautiful bride, Miss Willa Dean Stone, and Muhammad Ali. When Dr. Stone was president of Southern, Muhammad Ali came to campus. I think he came to campus more than once, but they have a picture with him on the campus of Southern University. So go check that out. So listen, we're gonna go to a real quick break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna talk a little bit more before we let you go. You're listening to Issues That Matter, 97.7 The Heat, WKSH. We play what we want to play and we say what we want to say.
Issues That Matter with Calvin Lester and Stephen Jackson on WKSH 97.7 The Heat.
Yes. And we are back.
He ain't riding with it.
Hey. And we are back. This is 97.7 The Heat, WKSH, where we play what we want to play and we say what we want to say. We thank you for riding with us. Really, we do. We appreciate that you are giving your time and your attention. And of course, if you want to call in, our number is 318-779-0459, 318-779-0459. Before I forget, Johnny, I want to say I saw where former city council member Jerry Bowman was appointed to Cattle Parish School Board.
Man, we knew that y'all would, man. Seen that all day.
Man, you know what? I just want to tell them congratulations.
Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I mean, we're a city that we honor people that don't even supposed to be honored.
Well, listen what I'm going to say.
It's all good.
The choice was made. He's on the school board. He has a responsibility of upholding what the community expects for their children. And so I don't know if he's going to stand for election, but we'll see,
Right. Hey, man, like I said, man, you know what? Cal, I don't learn so much from you guys and just other people like Roy Burrell and people like that, man, that really talks and says that once it's done, then it's time to find a solution.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Hey, how you doing? That's all it is, Cal.
Yeah.
It's time to find a solution.
Yeah.
Ain't no sense of griping about it.
Right.
If Trump get in office, guess what? Ain't no sense of griping about it.
Right.
All we got to do is hold him to the fire.
No, you're right.
Even though we ain't do what we supposed to do. He from New York. He a native of New York.
Hey.
Miles J.
Okay, well.
Yeah, he a native of New York.
Okay. I knew it was somewhere on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Listen. So let me complete my thought. Bowman's on the school board. He's got a responsibility.
Right.
He's got to deliver. The fact that he is not a political novice suggests that he should be able to bring some things to the table.
Right.
Yep. Well, there it is. And so
I'm sorry.
John is giving me information that's blowing my mind right now.
I'm sorry.
And I'm staying
we can't share that.
focused.
We can't share that.
I'm staying focused.
We can't share that right
now. No. That's on the 97.7 The Heat Issues That Matter shield. And you can't say nothing about it either.
Don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Scroll down and look at it.
So but no, I at the end of the day, we have an obligation to make sure that the business is handled. And so we'll see how that goes. There's the school board is going to go through some massive upheaval in the next couple of years because there are a number of school board members that are term limited. And so we'll see how that works out. I don't know if Bowman's going to stand for election. I think there's
what, Cal, we're gonna give him opportunity. We're gonna give him opportunity to do right.
I think you should.
I mean, we should.
But I mean, at the same time, I don't have a problem with anybody.
Right.
Like the Russians say, trust but verify.
Right.
You given this opportunity, but this is an opportunity to serve.
Right.
We have some expectations, and are you going to meet those expectations or not?
Right.
And we'll see. But he has an opportunity to make his mark or not. And we'll see how it goes. So, good luck to him. Good luck to the board. They got some challenges dealing with this school accountability thing. As I appreciated the scores are going to change. Some of the factors that decide whether your school is an A, B, C, D school or F school are going to change. As I appreciated, every school is going to have to post a certain amount of continuous improvement over a period of time.
Right.
And so, it's going to be a challenge for our school system. And so, I was talking to some people about what's going on with the schools in the MLK Cooper Road neighborhood. And as I appreciate it, I don't know if they voted on it or there's a proposal to have one elementary school that's going to be Pine Grove, one middle school that's going to be Lanier, and one high school that's going to be Green Oaks. Many of you know that neighborhood was so big and broad that there were several elementary schools. You had Pine Grove, you had Northside, you had Newton Smith. You know, you have those schools, and then of course Lanier was a middle school and Green Oaks was a high school. So we'll see how all of that shakes out. The leadership in the school board is going to be challenged because, you know, there are folks that want to privatize education. Not saying that's better or worse. You know, you got the charter school movement. Many times, at least as I've seen, some of the charter schools in our community are not A schools. They are no better than any of the neighbor schools. Well, I mean,
some of them F schools. I'm just being honest.
No, well, yeah, you're right. You got to call a thing a thing. And so
F schools. Yeah,
and so, you know, should
we close them?
I mean,
we done close all the rest of them. All the public schools.
I mean, if the reason for creating a charter school was to do something better, something different that was going to improve the situation of our children, and our children's situation hasn't improved, I would think that you have not accomplished your mission, and maybe you need to go back to the drawing board. So I think maybe what needs to happen is we need to do a deep dive and figure out why are our schools failing. You know, what is it from a policy standpoint? What is it that we're not doing? What level of support are we not giving? At what point maybe are we losing our children? Maybe we're doing an excellent job in a primary, first, second, or third grade, but somewhere around the fourth grade, we're losing them. I don't know. I know that in a number of instances, you know, criminal justice, from a criminal justice standpoint, they look at the educational attainment rates of kids in the third and fourth grade, and they look and see who's failing, and if that number is a certain thing, they extrapolate that and they say, well, this is how many jail cells we're going to need. So
let me see, who regulate the private schools? So the state regulate themselves?
Great question. So as I appreciate it, and I'm not an expert in this area, so I'm gonna be very careful. And if someone is an expert, we love to hear from you. As I appreciate it, the Bessie Board of Elementary and Secondary Education regulates everybody from 0 to 12th grade. Okay, elementary and secondary education. That's what they do. The Board of Regents deals with everybody after you graduate high school, whether you're getting a 2-year degree, a certificate, 4-year degree, whatever. The Bessie Board creates what the standards are. They come out with, in education, you have, educational attainment levels. You have benchmarks. You have student goals for every class. You know, there are learning objectives, student learning outcomes, student learning objectives for each class that says in the first grade, you should know this. The second grade, you should know this. The fourth grade, you should know this. And it goes all the way up to when you graduate from high school. And so the Bessie Board regulates all of that, right? And so they regulate because you are, even at a private school, you have to, your high school diploma has to be given by the state of Louisiana. So there are certain benchmarks that you got to meet so that they can endorse your high school, because otherwise, you know, if you graduated from the high school of Calvin and Johnny, that's not a certified high school because you haven't met the benchmarks, right? So there's some amount of regulation that's there. The better question, and I think where you're going is, how is it that some of our public schools can have a certain level of scrutiny and the private schools don't have it?
Exactly.
And I think that's a question for the Stevens and the legislature and folks of that nature to write their laws. So if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. If you're going to take our money, our public money, and take your public money to this place, then the same reading and writing and arithmetic that's
Criteria
going on there.
should go in.
Criterion is going on at Woodlawn, need to be going on at Evangel, need to be going on at Calvary or whatever school you Country Day or whatever you come up with.
But because to me, it's easy for them to regulate themselves because all you gotta do is fix what the problem is. But for the public schools, you going in and you closing schools and you're saying, look, this is what we're gonna do with the school. But I mean, it's crazy to me, man, because I'm sitting in the meetings and I'm listening to all this.
Right.
And the state superintendent come down, bold attitude that he gonna do this and do that and do that.
Right.
And then I'm just gonna put it out there. And the board, I'm just being honest, the school board ain't crap. They ain't crap. I'm just being honest. I done sit up and listen to those meetings, and these people play dumb like they don't know what's going on, and the whole time, like you say, they're behind closed doors talking and making deals. But it's not toward the kids. It's not benefiting the kids at all. Now we gotta look at our kids. The time finna change. So our kids gonna be up early in the morning over here catching the bus on Hearn. Their parents got to have them out here, because they had the buses lined up out there to go to school.
Right.
Now, it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse because once they close all the inner city schools, then you're going to have schools outside the cattle that they're going to be attending, and they're going to be bused there. And it's headed there because I think the superintendent is headed there with our governor. I think their whole objective is to put private schools into place. And our people, our black people on the board are working along with it. I'm sorry. I got to put it out there.
Well,
you building nice homes and low income homes over here by Magnolia,
right?
To fund that school, and then you come right over here in Southern Hill. I forgot the name. Hillsdale. What the name of that school is over
Summerfield.
There? Is it Summerfield?
I think so.
Right by the library.
Hamilton
Library.
Yeah.
Now
That's Ridgewood. That's Ridgewood.
Now you done built apartment complexes over there to feed that school. So, but you ain't feeding nothing in Lakeside, Allendale, Queensboro, any of those schools. But you're closing them all.
So
that's the difference with me.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
And then we say ain't nobody over there. You ain't building nothing over there.
Well, I mean, so now we coming back toward my wheelhouse. There are a lot of things that's going on with that. In a number of those instances, a lot of these charter schools almost come down to real estate deals because, like you said, there's a real estate complex that's developed in very close proximity to the school, right?
Mm-hmm, you're right.
One of the things that I'm proud of and I stand flat-footed on is, during my period of time of public service, we built a lot of affordable housing in the MLK community.
Mm-hmm.
And because we built quality, nice, single-family detached affordable housing in that community,
that's true.
Nobody was talking about closing those schools.
That's true.
Because you had places where people who wanted to live in a neighborhood could live in something nice that was affordable for them, and they could partake in the neighborhood schools. One of the things that we have to do in our city is develop a housing policy, an affordable housing policy throughout the width and breadth of our community. I mean, Johnny, when's the last, and I know you do, when you drive through a neighborhood like Queensboro, you drive through some of our other Lakeside and Allendale neighborhoods that are just, it's like, a bomb went off. It's destruction. I want to see those neighborhoods rebuilt. And when you rebuild those neighborhoods with affordable housing, starter homes, apartments, things that young people who are having the children can live in, those are the people that's going to populate your schools. The thing that was always wild to me was somebody that's my age or older talking about how they want to say to school, but you're not having no kids. If you're not putting together a product that people who are having children want to participate in, it's not going to work. It's just like having a restaurant that don't nobody want to eat at. If your food is bad, I mean, you could talk about how much you like McDonald's, but if this McDonald's is trash, I'm not going to eat there. And you shouldn't be mad that the McDonald's goes out of business because did the McDonald's go out of business because black folks is wrong? No, the McDonald's went out of business because the food is bad. So at some point, we have to make the product affordable, to make the product desirable, and you have to put people around the school that want the product and need the product. But what happens is when people come to our communities to build affordable housing developments, oh, we don't want that. If they can't build 3,000 square feet, we don't want it. And it's like, okay, so where they gonna go? And if there's no place for them to go, and you turn down, I'm gonna cut it short. Part of the problem that allows Villa Norte to be in a position it's in, the Pines to be in a position that it's in, Forest Oak on MLK David Range, the position that it's in, is because you did not develop newer affordable housing. And because you did not develop newer affordable housing, people need a place to stay. So the raggedy stuff that should have been rehab or torn down is still used, because it's better for me to have a roof over my head, even if it leaks, than to be outside. When you can build new affordable housing, what happens is the old stuff gets torn down because nobody lives there. The economic model for it, supporting it, goes away. But if I'm the owner of Villa Norte and these other units, the Jolie, which the same guy owns all of this, if he can still rent them, he's going to rent them. And the reason why he can still rent them, Johnny, is there's nothing else that's affordable that's better. And that's on us. That's a public policy decision that we have made over a course of years, that we say, we don't want that in my backyard. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. And when you say, I don't want that for 4 or 5 years, now, why should he fix up Villa Norte? Because he can still rent it. People still live in it because they got to have a place to stay. There is a 10,000 unit vacancy.
Right.
There's a need for 10,000 affordable housing units in Shreveport today. If somebody was to, if you want to fix affordable housing in Shreveport, you got to start with that 10,000 unit deficit that you have.
Right.
Before you do anything else. And if you're not going to address the deficit, so wait a minute, you want me to give up where I'm living to go outside to do what? To do what? It's your job as someone that is crafting public policy to craft a policy that allows people to come in and build something new, that's something nice, that meets the community standard, so that I can live in it, and the old stuff got to be torn down. But if you don't do that, then guess what? Your neighborhood starts to fall in, and when the neighborhood starts in, you close up those apartment complexes, right?
Right.
And who lives in an apartment complex? The young people that's having a kid. I'm not. I'm out the children business.
Right.
I'm out. OUWT. Out.
You know what get me is that when they come in the community, they build like the greenhouses up there off of Hearn Avenue, and they make them all look alike, and they stick them in them, and and that's affordable housing.
So let me say this about that.
One other thing too, they also the same people we talked about own the malls. Pierre Bourdieu
some
Mall,
of them do, some of them don't. So the way you do that, Johnny, is this: that stuff that's on Hearn, that's by the jail, was built before I got there.
Right.
Okay. It is what it is. What we did in Allendale and Armory Hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
The Fuller Center stuff. If you go to the Fuller Center property anywhere on the planet, they build 4 walls and a roof.
I remember that.
When they
Mount
came
Canaan, up there on Mount Canaan.
right, but when they came to
nice.
my district, I said, you're not going to build something that does not build the neighborhood up that you wouldn't want to live in.
Right.
They said, well, we don't have money to draw no different plans. I said,
yes, you do.
Here's $50,000. We hired a local architect, Kim Mitchell, to design all of those houses, so that what's in Armory Hill off of Rear Pierre and all this Passman and stuff like that, it's the best Fuller Center housing in the country. That's why for years whenever they would have the anniversary of past Katrina and they would celebrate the people living there, they would fly people in from around the country because I made them do something in Allendale that they did not do in any other part of the country. And they made money hand over fist because look at what we did. Y'all don't want to do that. Rest in peace. Well, he's not dead. Mac McCarter and them, they wanted to do shotgun houses. And if I had let them, they would have slapped some more paint on the shotgun house and been out of there. I was like, absolutely not. You will not do that. You're going to build something that meets the standard. So what I'm saying is, as an elected official, you have the power to decide what's going to go in your neighborhood, but you got to get off your blessed assurance and say, this is what it's going to be. And I did. And that proves it. That's why
I
it's
remember
what
when
it
they
looks
was
like.
building the ones over in what that is over there in
Little Texas?
no, they was building one right up at St. Vincent when they was building those low income houses over there. And I talked to one of the white contractors, and dude, they was getting 45% of their money back from the government down in Baton Rouge for building those low income houses.
Dude, it's
That's
a business.
that's crazy, man.
I ain't mad at that, Johnny.
No, I'm not.
I'm saying
I'm
this.
not. I'm not
saying
mad.
this. I want to see, one, some more black contractors and developers get into the game. Two, because it's in our neighborhoods. Three, that it's got to look good.
Right.
It's a business.
It's got to look good.
It's got to look good.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. I'm going to end on this. I remember one person came to me, and they talked real bad about me in the newspaper. I didn't care. They was like, well, you should be happy somebody's building. I said, well, I tell you what. If you like this shotgun house so much, I tell you what. I'll sell you any shotgun house you want for $1. Just you got to move it to Broadmoor. Oh, I don't want it in Broadmoor. Okay, well, if you don't want the shotgun house in Broadmoor where you live, don't condemn my folks for another 30 years living in shotgun houses. One of the things, of the many things that Hillary Huckabee told me, he was diametrically opposed to that deal that they did in Allendale where they put them two shotgun houses together. Okay. They built a hallway between the two shotgun houses, and they call it a 4-bedroom apartment. And I remember, because I used to be the young guy going to get the cigarettes and the liquor for Huck and Joe and them. He hit the roof. He was like, I'm not doing that. But they outvoted him. And some people who have a tower in downtown, I'm going to let you figure out who that person is, but his name began with B, and they used to own the newspaper. They made millions.
Wow.
Millions. They have one of the biggest buildings in downtown Shreveport. The Beards. They used to own the newspaper. They made millions off of putting a hallway between two shotgun houses for a compliance period of almost 20 years in the 80s. So do with that information what you will. So listen, you've been listening to Issues That Matter. We thank you for your time and attention this evening. We're not having a show on Thursday next week because we're going to be at the Jesse N. Stone Jr. Gala, listening to the melodic sounds of One Miles J and talking about how we can inculcate, use a big word, the next generation of African American and disadvantaged attorneys, because it's not just about African Americans, it's about people who serve the community that are from a disadvantaged socioeconomic background. And that's what we're going to be doing next week. So stay tuned. We will hit you up maybe Tuesday. You have a great evening. 97.7 The Heat, WKSH, where we play what we want to play and we say what we want to say. Take care.
You ain't went to the YMCA lately, have you?
No, sir. I'm leaving that alone. Wow. Hold on. You got to turn it off. You got to turn it off.
Stuck on you. Got this feeling down deep in my soul that I just can't lose. Guess I'm on my way. Needing a friend, and the way I feel now, I guess I'll be with you till the end. Guess I'm on my way. mighty glad you stayed.